Hey guys, TKB Bros here, back again with another Clash Royale video, and today we are doing an in-depth strategy, try hard, whatever you want to call it. Like, I'm just going to be explaining the best that I can, decks that work, and decks that, and how to use them. So, this video is specifically for Hammy here. He asked for it, so this is mainly for him. But first, before we get into actual decks and how to use them, one quick thing: if you're trying to get to like Legendary Arena or try to push up into the higher challengers. I'm only in challenge 1, so I guess you shouldn't really be taking this from me, but what I like to do, focus on upgrading cards that are easy to upgrade. Like, I love Golem decks, I love Three Musky decks are my favorite, but it takes way too long to request them and to actually upgrade them. So, because commons are so much easier, I use cards like the Mortar and Royal Giant. Well, it may not be fun, it's how I can climb trophies because they're easy to level up and they work pretty well if you know how to use them. So this is my deck I use right now. This is the deck I use for fun. It works great in challenges, and then here's one deck that I'm going to be showing you first. So this deck, switch out the log for Zap if you don't have the log. It's a Golem Baby Dragon simple combo deck. You don't need the arrows. I like them because I've been facing a lot of minion horde, and also you don't need, once again, log Zap, same thing. But because the season just reset like yesterday, no, not yesterday, like 12 hours ago, we might be finding like people with insane levels of cards like this guy, level 3 Lob Hound, and I don't want to put myself at that disadvantage, so we're going to do a challenge. While we may not find the most skilled players here, I'm just going to be trying to win, obviously, and then, you know, didn't start with our pump, but try to teach you how to use the deck. So for this one, if you have a pump, start out with a pump. That's the best thing to do to get elixir advantage, and this deck is what, if you want to win, you want to get that elixir advantage. I'm going to try as much as I can to not use legendaries when I'm explaining these decks. I like this deck with a lumberjack, but not many people have a lumberjack, so I'm going to try to make it work without him. Okay, actually that didn't go too bad, but we are in a huge deficit of elixir and offensive cards, so we're going to be forced to drop a defensive golem, and then arrow that. Okay. Off to start, this is not what we want, obviously, but to win, you gotta get this elixir advantage. He has Elite Barbarian, and I have only one elixir skeleton still. That's literally my only counter. So unlucky for us here, but we'll see if we can make it work. He obviously has an elixir lead over us right now, and he has Executioner coming down the lane. So, his dumb decision would be to pump up, and he's going to fireball. So, I think that's a negative elixir trade for him. If not negative elixir trade, it's a even. So, we'll take that, it's fine. And right now we just reset, and he played minions. He's probably going to play Elite Barbs under them. Skeletons, and I just realized I used my one counter for the Elite Barbs, so this is really scary. Because I have the best counter, he can put him down on the right side right here, and I would have lightning. I would be only counter, lightning or log. But because he played his tombstone, we can put this golem down. Now he probably will Elite Barb first. So now he doesn't have his tombstone. He doesn't have his executioner, obviously, because he just played it. And now he will, okay, perfect, lightning that. If he doesn't have an Inferno, you want to get as big lightning value as possible. If you have arrows right now, that would be beautiful. Mega Minion is still alive. Mega Minion is dead, but we have taken the tower. Successful comeback. And we have an elixir lead. We can pressure this side right now, which is what I'm going to do. I know he's back to his Elite Barbs. Smart thing for him to do. Push to the left side with Elite Barbs. So here we go. But I should be able to defend, hopefully. Actually, I will. We will take unfortunately, but that lightning baby dragons can barely stay alive there when they take the second tower. So the thing that almost went wrong there is the thing that almost screwed us at the end there was he could have put elite barbs. He could have pressured us with elite barbs, but then when we put the golem, he could have easily taken the tower that way, and then we would have been about even elixir, and he could have defended, possibly won, but he didn't. So that was the first deck I'm going to show you. The thing with this deck, get an elixir advantage. The hard thing is just defending. The main 3 cards you have to defend is just 3 lightning. You could defend with it's, I don't know, it's not the best. That's why sometimes if you're versing a lot of spam decks, use log or zap. If not, I would recommend either using the Goblin Gang's fun. I like minions because they're a great defensive card, or if you don't want it, or if you want, Skarmy or Inferno are great defensive cards. So with that out of the way, we are going to go to our second deck, which is a Goblin Barrel Hog Bait deck. And here we are with our deck, Goblin Barrel Hog, Goblin Barrel Log Bait deck with a hog. If you don't have the princess, the only thing I would substitute it with would be either archers, or you could do a musketeer, or, I mean, princess is basically what you want. If you don't have it, don't use the deck. But we'll go on into a battle here. Also, Skarmy, optional. If you don't want the Skarmy, when Elixir Skeletons works, you can use pretty much whatever you want. I mean, obviously don't do something, you want to do something cheap to replace the Skarmy, because this deck is a faster cycle deck. And I forgot the Inferno. You're supposed to have an Inferno in this deck instead of the Skarmy. I'm not sure if I want to... We'll just play it. But know that while playing this deck, you usually want an Inferno tower instead of Skarmy. I think we'll play the same deck here. No, not the same deck. I obviously forgot the Inferno, and I have minions instead of an Electro Wizard. Okay, so we actually play different decks. Cool. Okay. So right now, we know what deck he has pretty much. So the thing would be, the hard thing with this is going to be getting to the tower and keeping him away from our tower. So right now we were lucky, he didn't have anything to counter the Skarmy, but later on I think he might save his Zap and Log. But now that his Inferno just went down, we can Goblin Barrel Hog. He has another Inferno. Goblin Barrel should do a decent amount. Nope. So now they just logged. That was his only counter to the Goblin Gang. Oh no, he's Electro Wizard. Never mind. Okay, so know the opponent's cards. You gotta know what counters what in your deck. If you find that out earlier, it'll be easier later. So, this game is gonna be really hard. I realized usually you don't have. I made this deck a little bit wrong. I kind of rushed into it, but it might work still. We'll see. That's nice, and we could potentially do double princess here. Spirit isn't going to do anything except delay her, and he's on the other side, so we're going to Goblin Barrel here. So what we're doing right now is just outplaying him. We know his only counter for log, or for Goblin Barrel, is the log, which he just used, so we can just counter that with our princess. He's going to finally take out the princess, but at that point, we already got enough damage. It is in 2 log, no it's not, it's like 3 logs. Wasting a lot of elixir there, but that's good, smart. Although, we're gonna take the tower anyway, even with that defensive hog from him. So, right now, what I'm trying to do is just cycle, outplay him. We know his only counter for the Goblin Barrel, once again, is the log. So we can just use that to our advantage. We can outcycle him when he plays his log, just do Goblin Barrel, Goblin Gang, just keep switching him around. And pretty much this is an easy win. Excuse me. So yeah, that's going to be a good game. Nothing to do at this point because he doesn't have the counters. If he uses Electro Wizard more efficiently, he could have possibly won that, but he didn't. So usually what you want in that deck is, instead of what I had there, you could have a rocket. It's okay. I like the rocket. It's a great defensive card, so I mean, It's up to you. Usually you could play it for the princess. This is the standard deck. You usually have Goblin Gate and Goblin Barrel. You can pick one, or you could pick both. I mean, it's up to you, but find what works best for you guys. If you know how to play a card really well, use that card. This deck is my mortar deck that I use for pushing. It's a little bit scumbaggy, but I mean, it works, and it's what I need to do to get higher in the trophy ranks because I don't have the luxury of level 8 rares except for this rocket. That's the only level 8 rare I have, and at 4,000 you need level 9 rares to complete, pretty much, to compete. So with this deck, what you want to do, outcycle your opponent with the miner. I mean, not with the miner, with the mortar. Usually people don't exactly know how to play a mortar deck. They just see the mortar and they put something like right in front of it instead of putting something. What you want with a mortar, put something around this range, and then that Electro Wizard is just not doing what it needs to do. Okay, you want to put something to distract the mortar, but keep it at a faraway distance. And he has a P.E.K.K.A deck. I saw the bandit and I thought he probably has a P.E.K.K.A deck, and he does. There go my minions, and he's gonna one-shot that. This deck is gonna be a little hard because all we have to counter the P.E.K.K.A is our knights and the the knight and 1 elixir skeletons. So we'll see how this goes, but you know, the thing with this deck, once again, keep them off guard with the mortar. Also, it's really easy if you feel like this is kind of scary and you don't have confidence that you might want to win. Just put the mortar right here, use it as a defense. Try to cycle rockets if you can. If not, totally fine. Just take the tie. That's what I do a lot on the ladder. If I see someone with either a golem deck or a really strong, highly scary giant deck, I just put a mortar here, take the tie, because it's not worth losing. But honestly, it takes a lot of practice with this deck. You gotta know what deck, when you see a deck, I'm saying deck a lot. When you see something, you gotta know if you can actually win against it, or if you should just take a tie. And right there, what I did right there with the skeletons is pretty dumb. Instead of using it as a defense for the P.E.K.K.A, I went defensive with it against the... Okay, wow, this guy's really going in hard with his P.E.K.K.A. Okay, but we should be okay here. The thing is, when he keeps doing this like this, he's gonna kill one P.E.K.K.A, and then we'll have a huge counter push if we can get a mortar down. Nice. Okay. If he puts a P.E.K.K.A in the middle, he can totally counter us. That also works. But we have 2 mortars firing on that. That's kind of funny. And this should be pretty much game over for this guy. Except I didn't get that down soon enough, so I can literally not even see. Okay, right now we know we have a huge elixir advantage. I'm just going to straight up rocket. Missed both archers. Doesn't really matter, because this is where we're going to have to shine, right here. Drag that over here. He's going to die really soon. Yep. And then 1 elixir skeletons, log. Just keep everything away. Let my Electro Wizard do work against this battle ram, and we are 2 rockets and an arrow away, I think. No. 1 rocket, 1 arrow, 1 log. We should win this. So I'm gonna arrow right now. We can wait for him to play something. Okay, there he goes. We can do... He's probably gonna poison. No. And we can just defend like this. Log. He actually put a battle ram into that log, so that's good for us. This is actually a little bit scary right now, but we were able to successfully defend, and that's going to be game over for him. Once again, with this deck, you want to just outcycle your opponent with the mortar, or with rockets at the end. I mean, you gotta find what works for you with this deck. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You gotta find a deck that works for you. I can give you good decks that work for me, and work for a lot of people that, play the game, like these top guys. A lot of people have the same decks there, but you gotta find your type of deck. The first deck I showed you right here, Hog, or the Golem deck, this one right here, or a close one to that. You gotta find out, you gotta learn how to get an elixir advantage, how to defend with your limited defensive options, and how to build up a big push. For this one right here, you gotta learn how to outcycle your opponent, you gotta learn how to draw out their logs, and then for this last one, you gotta learn when to put the mortar, when to actually try to win, and how to defend. So yeah, overall, we have this new guy. Who is he? Oh my gosh, he's bad. Okay. Overall, that's all I have to say. Find your deck that works for you. Find your style of deck, and find the cards that are the most. I mean, this is my personal recommendation. You don't have to, but use a deck that revolves around common cards, or, I mean, legendaries. But I mean, yeah, common cards. Try to stick with common cards. So that's gonna be take-home message. Use common cards like Mortar, Royal, Giant if you don't have them, or if you don't have them higher enough level. Requesting hogs like 24/7 is what a lot of people do, and they have like level 9, level 10 hogs right now as level 10s, and they have like rares that correspond to level 12s. That's why I have 17 hogs, because so many people request it. So either use one of these decks, try to use the tips I gave, and then see if you can make anything happen. Yep, that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you learned something, some strategy tip or something, I don't know. I'm gonna make this a series. I'm gonna do another video on strategy, something, Clash Royale strategy. Can't talk. But yeah, that will be up later in the week to give you more of an idea of how to use these decks better. I just did one battle with each deck. I want to go into in depth more about each deck specifically. So yeah, see you guys in the next video, and